Sanai. Again, we are here to talk about the truth. We are going to learn about nature. Because you are nature. That means actually we are going to learn about you. If you don't know, then that is the problem. If you don't know about you, if you don't know about universe, if you don't know about nature, you can't survive, ladies and gentlemen. That's why in our life, the very first thing we should do is we should understand about ourselves. That means actually we should understand about nature. Otherwise, you will realize or you will feel that you are a part of nature. You are a component of nature. But you are not. You are nature. But your mind always perceives that it's an entity and everything is an entity and nature consists of entities. But it's wrong. That's what we should understand. Actually, attaining Nibbana is we should let the mind realize that it is nature. Everything is nature. But the mind always tries to separate things. The mind always tries to separate things and differentiate things. It wants to perceive everything as an entity. Therefore, the mind thinks that it's an entity. That's why you feel about yourself. Actually, yourself means your mind perceives itself as an entity. That's called self. That's why you can introduce yourself as this is me. Or this is I. How many eyes are here? Not these eyes. How many eyes are here? According to your mind, you are the one. You are that I. The mind talks about separation. That's a separation. The mind wants to separate the world. Because the mind strongly believes that everything is an entity. That's what the problem. One day you will realize this one as the problem. But today I will try to explain this. I can't say that I'm going to explain this because perhaps you had to listen to 1,000 sermons to understand this properly. But this is the way. Somehow you need to learn, you need to study, you need to realize, and finally you will reflect. After that, your problem will be sorted. First of all, we should understand the problem. Now you can say, why should we attain Nibbana? That is the biggest problem. And what is Nibbana? What is salvation? Because there are many salvations in this world, ladies and gentlemen. If you talk to someone, because every religion basis on some kind of Nibbana, which means some kind of salvation. Some kind of salvation. That's why you may have seen some people, they try to harm their body to achieve their salvation because they believe so. Therefore, they do that. And some people, they go into a jungle and start meditating. And some people, they raise their hand That's it. That's their meditation. They don't put it down. They think that by doing that, they will attain Nibbana. They will find their salvation. There are many salvations. But if you can find the real salvation, you will win. That's the very first thing you should do. Among all these salvations, you need to find the proper salvation. But the thing is, why? This is proper salvation. Why do we say that? This is the proper salvation. We can't just say that because we are Buddhists and this is the salvation. We can't say that. You should realize that. To realize that, you should understand what is the problem in your mind. We need to talk about the problem. We will find out the problem. We will find out the problem with the Dhamma. When you understand the Dhamma, you will see the problem. When you listen to this sermon, try to understand the problem. Because there is only one problem. You don't have to find many problems and many solutions, ladies and gentlemen. If you can see the problem, you will see the solution. Therefore, very first thing is you should see the problem. You may have seen many problems, but those are not problems. Those are not the problem. There is only one problem. If you can see that, you will win. I'm telling you, because I have seen it. I have seen the problem. Before I became a monk, I had many problems. I had many issues. And I wanted solutions. I have been looking for all the solutions. Because I thought that there are many problems. When I had lustful feelings in my mind, then I thought that that's a problem. Then I thought that that's the problem. Then I wanted to find a solution for that. Then I asked from the society. Then they said that, oh, this is normal. When I am suffering with lustful feelings, what the society said is, this is normal. This is normal because they all are suffering. They all are suffering. Therefore, what they said is, oh, this is normal. You will be okay. At one point, they asked me to get married. Then it will be okay. Does that happen to you? Is it okay now? Just think about that. Aren't you suffering with lustful feelings? Aren't you suffering with anger? Aren't you suffering with ego? Don't you want to show off? Show yourself to others. This is me. Look at me. This is me. And you act accordingly. When you want to show yourself, then you do that. And if they don't care about you, then you try to fight with them. Somehow, by doing all these things, actually we are wasting our time. But the problem is, time is an illusion. We can't waste time. We can only waste our life. Therefore, by doing all these things, we are wasting our life, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I want you to understand the real problem. When you understand the real problem, you will stop seeking for answers for the other problems, because you can't see any other problem. In my life, I have only one problem now. And I have the answer also. I have the answer as well. Therefore, I'm going to win this battle. I want you to win this battle. The battle is you have to win yourself. One day you should be satisfied with what you have. One day you should be satisfied with what you experience. But the problem is now you can't be satisfied with anything, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. Therefore, you want to change the world. That's why you keep changing the world. You want to change the environment. That's what you do. You spend money. You earn money. To earn money, you spend your life. To spend money, you use your life. Therefore, you use your life at least 30 years, or let's say 20 years, 25 years to study. After that, you use your life to earn. After that, you use your life to spend. After that, you will die. That's it. Nobody talks about you again. After your death, Nobody talks about you. You are done. That's it. But now you think that, I have everyone. I have my family. I'll looked after. That's what you think. I have my son. I have my daughter. They will look after me. I have my pension. That will look after me. Of course, that will feed you, ladies and gentlemen. That will feed you. If you have money, you can eat. You can get your basic requisites if you have money. If you have your children and they are good, they are virtuous. If they are righteous, they will help you. They will feed you. I know that. They will feed you. But the problem is, you need to find your own salvation. No one is going to help you for that. No one is going to do it for you. We also can help you, but we can't run for you. You need to remember that. We will run with you. When you want to achieve your salvation, then we can show you the path. We can preach to you. Then with that, you will understand the Dhamma and you will start your own journey and we will guide you. We will guide you, but you need to find your salvation and you need to go. You should have your own path. This is how this is. Try to understand this. The Buddha's path is so different to others. Because this path is made by walking. That's why it always starts with the Dhamma. When we preach to you, you should understand this. Until you understand, we will preach to you. We will talk about many things. We will talk about nature. Other than that, we never talk about anything. Because we want you to understand nature. What are the main characteristics of nature? If you can understand that, you will be free. Because that is the truth. Then the responsibility is yours. That's why I always tell you, remember this. The ball is always in your court because we are playing squash. You can't put your ball into my court. I can be your teacher. I can guide you. But I can't play for you. You have to play all the time. That's why this is a little bit hard. If I can help you, if I can do a part of your job, then it will be easy. Perhaps you can give me some food. You can offer some food and ask, Guru Handra, could you please do this one for me? If it is possible, you don't have to offer me anything, ladies and gentlemen, I'll do it for you. If it is possible. It's not possible. That's why I'm investing my time in you, in your salvation. That's why I use this time. You to understand the Dhamma. That's not only me, but also everyone. Everyone in this monastery. Everybody wants you to achieve your salvation and everybody wants you to be free and happy. If I want you to be happy, don't you want to be happy? If you want to be happy, can't you sacrifice yourself? Can't you sacrifice your time to free yourself from suffering? All sort of suffering. Just think about this. If you are ready, we will help you, ladies and gentlemen. Your age doesn't matter. Don't think about that. But you should start right now. Every day you should start. Don't postpone this to tomorrow. Because this is the best time. If you can take the decision to free yourself from suffering, if you can take the decision to find your own salvation, we can show you the path. And the other thing is, we can teach you knowledge. We can pass the knowledge we got from our teachers. But you are responsible for converting it to your wisdom. To convert knowledge to wisdom, we need to discuss and understand. You are well educated. Therefore, you can understand what I say. But understanding is not enough. You need to realize. Then what is the difference between understanding and realizing? You can understand something. When I say something, you can understand. When I say, you can understand this English. But to realize that, it should come within you. That means whatever you listen, you should put into practice. When you put this into practice, you will realize. You will realize nature. Then you will understand that you are nature. If you are nature, why do you want to change nature? If everything is nature, why can't you be satisfied with everything what you have? You are suffering because you can't be satisfied with what you have. Actually, if you think about your education, you have learned something. Actually, it's regarding how do I change the world for my sake or for my happiness, for sake of my happiness. That's it. That's what you have learned. You learn physics. Why? Physics means actually, in physics, what we learned is how nature works. Why? Then we can use it for our own good. Why? What we have is not enough. We can't be satisfied with what we have. This face is not enough. This face is not beautiful enough. Therefore, we need to change this. I don't like this face. I don't like this house. I don't like nature. Therefore, I want to change nature. Then I'll be happy. That's what you have been taught. That's why you wanted to change the world. That's why you have spent your entire life to change the world. You are still doing that. If you can realize the truth, you will stop this. When I understood the Dhamma, actually, that is the very first thing I did. I stopped changing the world. I wanted to realize the world and I wanted to accept the world. Therefore, now I can accept the world. I don't want to change anything. I'm satisfied with what you are or who you are. This is okay for me. This is okay for me. Your face is okay for me. Therefore, I never asked you to come with another hairstyle. This is okay. Your costume is okay. Can you be okay with what you have? Let's learn the Dhamma to be okay with what we have. To okay means if we realize that we are nature, then we don't want to change anything. But if we think that we are different to nature, I'm different, he's different, she's different, they are different. If we think like that, then we have separations. When we have separations, now we want them to change themselves. Then by doing that, we think that we will be happy. If I can change your face, I can be happy. How stupid. But this is how our mind thinks. By thinking that, you try to change your face. You try to change your environment. You spend money. That's why you need money. How much money do you want to be happy? Just tell me an amount. When do you stop? I have stopped. I don't want money. I just need only four basic requisites. If I have those things, I can be satisfied with that. I don't want money. When do you stop? If you don't realize this, you will learn. You will continue this. Because you can't stop it. where you want. You have many wantings because you have many desires, because you think that the world is pleasurable. The world is pleasurable. The world is an entity. Everything is an entity. That's what your mind believes due to ignorance. Therefore, the mind wants to perceive everything as an entity. It thinks that everything is pleasurable. Therefore, the mind has many desires. When you have a desire, what can you do? Can you see two paths when you have a desire? Only worldly people have. The worldly people have only one path. And noble people who have understood the Dhamma also have only one path. But those paths are different. They are different. They have one path and we have one path. When we have a desire. When you have a desire, what should you do? That's the question. If we check that, we can say that whether you are a noble person or worldly person. When you have a desire, what do you do? Just think about that. I'll show you two paths. When you have a desire, that means if you like to do something, if you want to do something, if you want to see something, you see it. If you want to eat something, you eat it. By doing so, you always perceive, or you always think that this is my right to do it. I have my own rights. Therefore, if I want something, I should achieve it. That's how we have been taught. People ask us to have a dream, have a burning desire. Therefore, we had all the burning desires we had in our life, and you have a burning desire. What should you do with this? There are two things we can do. There are two things possible, but one is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. The only one path is correct. If you can see that path, you will win. When you have a desire, with that desire, your mind experiences a vexation. Your mind is vexed just after a desire. That's why you have to do something now. But you think that you do something. But you don't do something. You have to do something. Perhaps you think that, no, I did it willingly. No. You had to do it because you were a slave. I'm sorry to say this. Please don't be offended. Let's talk about the truth. That's it. You are a slave. Therefore, you had to do it. Because your mind was vexed. When your mind was vexed, you can't stop itself. Therefore, you had to do that. If you wanted to visit a country, you went there. But perhaps your parents asked you to don't go there. But you did it. You did it. Reason? You couldn't stop yourself. You couldn't stop yourself because you were vexed. When you wanted to blame someone, when you were mad at someone, what happened? You wanted to say something. Did you stop that? No. Were you able to stop it? No. You can't because you were vexed. When you are vexed, you have to do something. Therefore, please don't think that you do these things willingly. Actually, you do these things because you have to do it. Otherwise, you will go mad. You can experience it if you want. When you have a desire, stop doing anything. Just stay calm. when you have a desire? You can't. You have to do something. No one can say still. When they have a desire, no one can stop themselves. That's why the Buddha taught us a path. When you have a desire, there is a method to eradicate the desire. That's why I told you, there are two paths. For worldly people, when they have a desire, they try to achieve it. Because of their vexation, they can't stop themselves, therefore they will achieve it. To achieve, they will use their mind, which means their time, which means their life. To achieve. When you have a desire, you are vexed and you try to achieve it. Again, you have another desire and you try to achieve that either. How many achievements you have achieved so far? Another word, if we use another word, we can say that. How many times have you wasted your time or your life? Because finally, what do you have? Tell me one thing you have. Oh, I have a land, a piece of land. Is that the thing you are going to say? I have 2 buildings. I have a job. I have a pension. What you say is, I have a source of income to eat, to look after myself. You don't own them. You don't have anything. You are just a mind which is created right now. You don't have anything. You can't own anything. But you think that you have many things. You think that you have your sons, daughters, your servants. You think that they will serve you. No, they will feed you. That's what I told you. They will feed you. That's the only thing they can do. You don't have anything in this world. Because you are a mind. When the mind is vexed or when the mind is ignorant, the mind thinks that it's an entity, which means it's a being. That's why you feel your existence. That's how you feel that you are a being. That's why you want to behave like a being. But don't forget that you are a mind. I can't say that you are a mind because nothing is called you. There is a process there. There is a process, ladies and gentlemen. The mind is a process. It's a process, and it's not you. But you feel your existence due to ignorance. When you feel your existence, you try to behave like a being. That's why you try to behave like a human being. Now you think that I'm a human being. When I ask, if you are a human being, show me your face, then you will show this. This is me. If I ask you to show yourself, you show this. Because the mind can't show any other thing. The mind has only a feeling. It experiences its existence. But it's false. That's why the Buddha said, what you experience is a false sense of existence. It's only a false sense. It's a sense, ladies and gentlemen. It's not your existence. You have only 2 things, but I'll use the word you, but there is no such thing called you. But I will use that. Otherwise, I can't talk. You have 2 things. One is your body. The other one is your mind. Apart from that, you don't have any other thing. And your mind is not continuous. It is discrete. Your mind is discrete. That is the very first thing you should understand about universe. About the universe is discrete. If you have learnt about that, if I show you this is discrete. This is not continuous. But it looks like continuous. But this is discrete. It has particles. In between particles, there's a space. That means this consists of particles. This is not continuous. Actually, these particles are separated. But it looks like one. It looks like an entity. But this is not an entity. But the problem is your mind strongly believes that everything is an entity. That is the problem. Because when it believes, it gets attached to that idea. Therefore, the mind wants to perceive an entity. But the problem is, nature doesn't help. Because nature is not an entity. Nature is a process. Nature is an effect. You are an effect. This chair is an effect. This whiteboard is an effect. This digit, this number is an effect. Why do I say that this is an effect? Because I didn't write 12. 12 appears. I write only 1, then 2. When I write 1 and 2, 12 appears. That means this is an effect. If something is an effect, I can't touch it. I can't change it. I can't burn it. Because it's an effect. It appears. When causes come together, an effect appears. This is what happened here. If I don't want 12, I can't do anything to 12. I can change causes. When I change causes, 12 disappears. Now try to understand the theory of cause and effect. It explains everything. If you want to explain mass, if you want to explain the sun, the moon, if you want to explain about yourself, if you want to explain about your body, that's the theory of everything. It explains everything. Because if you look at this, when causes come together, you can see an effect appears. This is how the world works. That's why you don't have a past. You don't have a future. Because this is only an effect. This 12 doesn't have a past. It doesn't have a future. It's only effect. This is only an effect. Try to understand it with this simple example. This is an effect. And what about your hair then? What about your body then? What about one of your cells? It is made up of atoms. When atoms comes together, and cell appears. Then a cell appears. You can see that. You have learnt about this. If we know that everything is made up of atoms, how do you say that this is an entity? How do you say that your hair is an entity? Your hair is unique? How do you say that? But the problem is your mind perceives it because that's what it wanted to perceive. Because the mind has a strong belief that everything is an entity. That's what we need to break. We should break this. Otherwise, the mind will suffer forever because nature never helps. Because nature is not an entity. Therefore, nature can't create entities. Just imagine that. If your son or daughter wants the sun, perhaps you can bring it. Because the sun exists. But if your son or daughter, your adorable one, asks you to make an entity, he will suffer forever. If your son believes that something is an entity, he will suffer forever. That's what happened to your mind. Your mind believes that everything is an entity. Therefore, it expects. It expects to see, experience, to touch. That's what the life is. Perhaps you think that your life is full of happiness or sadness, whatever it is. But actually life is, the mind wants to experience entities. That's why you live. That's why you want to see. That's why you want to hear. That's why you want to touch, smell. Apart from that, you haven't done anything in your life. Tell me if you have done one thing apart from this. Each time you try to see something, each time you try to hear something, each time you try to smell something, so on and so forth. There are 6 things you can do. You do these things because your mind wants to perceive entities. But have you seen even one entity in your life? Just tell me. Entity means something unique and something fixed. If you have seen any entity, if you have experienced any entity, just tell me. One entity in this world. If you think that this is an entity, no, this is not an entity. This is made of atoms. This is made up of atoms. This is made up of atoms. This entire body is made up of atoms. This table is made up of atoms. Your body is made up of atoms. Your mind is made up of energy. Energy is also discrete. It is not continuous. You have learned quantum physics. When you learn quantum physics, you have seen that. You have learned that. It is also discrete. Therefore, you can't find anything continuous. Your mind is not continuous. Your mind is discrete, and we can count. The mind is countable. Energy is countable. In Newtonian physics, we have learned that energy is continuous. But in quantum physics, we learned that energy can be counted. Therefore, we can count energy. We can take as energy packets. Therefore, we can count our mind as well. 1 mind, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can count. Then when we separate them, or if we take one mind, actually it's not unique or it's not an entity, it's a process. It's a process and it has many parts. That's how we write Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. This is the process. Those are Pali terms. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. When you have all these parts, then the mind is created. The process is created. When the mind is created, the mind can perceive, because this vijnana means actually this is the perception. When it comes to this point, the mind can perceive something. This is the beginning. Rupa, a form. Something should be there. There are 6 types of forms. You know them. Sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, and thoughts. There are 6. Then when one is created here, if sight is created, when I say if sight is created, what do you think about that? When I say if sight is created, because it's a process, ladies and gentlemen, but the problem is our mind always believes that it's an effect, it's an entity. Because when I show you this, you can see blue color. Then you might think that blue color is on the pen. Here, I'm talking about a little bit deep Dhamma. Is that okay? Let's talk about this. And if you can't understand today, let's understand it tomorrow. You don't have to be vexed, because you came here to eradicate your vexation. Therefore, you don't want to be vexed. Let's just understand this. That's it. If you can't understand it tomorrow, then let's understand tomorrow. That's it. If you can't today, then tomorrow. If you can't tomorrow, then day after tomorrow. We will do that. We do these things to realize the world. And we want to come out of vexation. We want to come out of suffering. Therefore, just try to understand this. Take your time, because greatness takes time. Actually, this is like Chinese bamboo tree. I'm telling you. You had to water, you had to nurture it. And for 5 years, then finally you will see a small sprout. That's it. But once you have seen that, you can be over the moon, because you are successful. You are fruitful, because you have seen the sprout. Now it will grow within few months, past few days. You will achieve your salvation. But the first part is a little bit hard. When I explain this, it's a little bit hard, because you haven't heard about these things. You only heard about entities. You haven't heard about Sambhuta. When I say Sambhuta, it's again Pali word. Sambhuta means effect. It's an effect. 12 is an effect. That means it consists of its causes. Sambhuta. Bhuta means appear. If something appears, we call it's bhuta. Then sang means something comes together. Something comes together and appears. We can say sang, bhuta. Entity and sambhuta, or effect. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Effect. 123. When we say 123, but actually we are hypocrites. We don't write 123. We write 1, 2, 3, and we say that 123. We talk about the effect. We write all the causes. Just think about that. We write causes, but we talk about the effect. Then when you consider about the effect, actually this is sambhuta. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 123 is sambhuta. Why? It consists of 1, 2, 3. When it comes together, 123 appears. The appears means bhuta. It comes together means sang. Then when something comes together and appears, then it is called sambhuta. That's why the Buddha said, hetum paticca sambhuta. When causes come together, an effect is created. This is the theory of everything. If you talk about anything, just look at that. Whatever you have in your mind, just apply this theory, the theory of cause and effect, then you will see that. It explains everything. It explains gravitational field. It explains electrical field. Everything. Now you can see, this is sambhuta. And what about your body then? It is sambhuta. What about this? It is sambhuta. Then tell me, what is not sambhuta then? Do you have anything? Anything? No. Because everything is sambhuta. Everything is an effect. If everything is an effect, everything is a process. Because due to a process, an effect is created. It's a process. Therefore, your entire body is a process. Your mind is a process. This is the process of the mind. That's why I told you, the sight is created. This color is created in your mind. This color is not in this pen. This color is created in your mind. This is scientifically proven. But in our school, we learned that this is blue color. But this is not blue color. This is a dye. This is a pigment. My skin has a pigment. I'm not brown. And you're not white. Don't say that you're white. You're not black. And I'm not brown. Are you white? I'm not brown. And you're not white. Because this is a pigment. You know the name of this pigment. What is it? What is it? Melanin. This is melanin, ladies and gentlemen. This is a pigment. This is a chemical structure. This is a chemical compound. All the chemical compounds are made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. They don't have a color. What is the color of an electron? What is the color of a proton, neutron? No, you don't have a color. Then how can you be white? How can you see this brown color? Actually, you can see this brown color because brown color is created in your mind. Therefore, when you see brown color, you should know that it's an effect. That's why when I show you this, look at this, and you will see blue color. Now, can you see it again? No, you can't see it. You can't see it because causes are not there anymore. But when I keep it like this and I ask, what is the color of this pen? Tell me. Your mind thinks that it is blue. It's an illusion, ladies. An illusion means actually it's called stupidity. I'm sorry to say that. But the thing is, when you have a headache and if you start to jump to heal that, that's stupidity. That's stupidity. You agree with that. But when I say that this is not blue color, and when I keep it here and ask what is the color of this pen, then your mind believes that it's still blue color, then it's not stupidity. The problem is your mind perceives what it wants to perceive. This is not blue. This is a pigment. This is a dye. Blue color is created in your mind. Then when blue color is created in your mind, you should know that it's an effect. That's why you can't see it again. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? No, because causes are not there. Now when I show this, then now it is created again. It is created again. You don't see this. But the thing is, your mind perceives that you see this. You don't see this. Blue color is created in your mind. You see the blue color which is created in your mind. Actually, you don't see, ladies and gentlemen. It's called you perceive. It's called perceiving. You can't see anything. You perceive things. You can't smell anything. You perceive. You can't listen to anything. You can't hear anything. You perceive. When I show this, you perceive. You means actually the mind. Whenever I say you, I'm talking about the mind. But when I say mind, you see this, again I use you. Because I use the word you because I want you to understand this. But you can't understand anything. Oh, don't be offended. You can't understand anything means, I'm not talking about you again. You is an illusion. It's only a feeling. It's a false sense of existence. But the problem is, the mind perceives it. The mind perceives it. Therefore, now the mind wants to see blue color. Then the mind thinks that this pen is blue. Therefore, each time I show you this, you think that you see the blue color which is in the pen. But each time you see a blue color or you perceive a blue color which is created in your mind. Therefore, in that case, can you see the same pen second time? In second time, can you see the same pen? No. Because when I show you, now a blue color is created, a sort of blue color. Why did I say a blue color? I don't say this is you will see the blue color. You can't see the blue color because blue color which is created in your mind is unique. It's unique. Unique to you. Don't think that you see the same blue color. Second time either. Look at the pen. Can you see? Right. If causes change, then you can't see the same blue color again. Ladies and gentlemen, try to understand this. Therefore, if you can understand this, you will realize that the mind is a process, and that process occurs at the moment. Then a color appears, that's Rupa. A color appears, that's Rupa, because it's an effect, it's a Sambhuta. After that, that color is notified. That means this is called Vedana. Actually, it's a notification. Notification means when it happens, you see this. If it is a sound, you hear it. That's Vedana. After that, it comes to Sanya. That means you are going to identify. The mind identifies it, recognizes it. After that, it wants to take the resultant effect. To take the resultant effect, Sankara must be activated. Therefore, Sankara comes and add these two, take the result of these three and take the resultant of it. The resultant effect. When you take the resultant effect, you will perceive something. Therefore, now you can see this is a process. When a rupa is created, when a form is created, it comes to a perception. That's called the mind. Therefore, the mind is not an object. The mind is not unique, or the mind is not an entity. You can see that the mind is a process. If you want to perceive something, it should come up to here. Otherwise, you can't perceive anything. If you want to perceive something, you can see that the rupa must be created. Vedana must be created. I should say, Vedana must be created. But you used to say that I saw something. When I say the mind is a process, when I say the mind is an effect, it's a sambhuta. Everything is new. Because you thought that mind is continuous. And you had this mind in your childhood, and you had your mind right now, and you will have your mind in the future. But you don't have such kind of mind. The mind is discrete. Each time when you see something, you can identify it as a mind is created. When you see something, when you hear something, that's the time the mind is created. When you smell something, that's the time the mind is created. Each time the mind is created. That's why I told you, the mind is discrete. Each time it is created. I can create a mind in you. Can I? Did you hear that? Yes. You heard it. That's how we think. Oh, I heard it. Where was you? Where were you? But you think, where were you? So just tell me, where are you? Before I make the sound, I want to know that. Because you will say that I heard the sound. Because I can help you to create a sound. But the problem is, I can't do anything to create yourself. That means you have to create yourself first. Do you have yourself right now? Yeah? Where? In your head? In your mouth? In your pocket? Where? Where do you have yourself? Because I can help you to create, or I can help a sound to be created. I can't say that I can help you to create a sound because you are not here to create a sound. You can't create a sound because the sound is created, ladies and gentlemen. I can't create a sound. From my mouth, you can't hear a sound. Only a vibration comes because you know that this is a voice box. It vibrates. It vibrates the air particles. And it comes to your ears. After that, it goes to your brain. After that, it connects with the mind. Then Rupa is created. This is the form. Rupa is created. Rupa means, now in this case, Rupa means sound. A sound is created. From my mouth, you can take only a vibration. Can you hear a vibration? Can you hear vibration? You can't hear vibration. Then sound must be created. If sound is created, it's a process. By teaching you, by explaining you, I want you to understand that everything is Sambhuta in this world. Everything is a Sambhuta, I would say. Everything is a Sambhuta in this world. What do you think? Because you can easily understand that this is a Sambhuta, which means this is an effect. You can understand it easily because this is metal. This is iron. It consists of electron and proton. It has a metallic bond. We have learnt all these things. Sinking positive ions in a stream of electron. That's the metallic bond. Then this has a metallic bond. That means this consists of electrons and positive ions, which means again protons and electrons, whatever it is. Therefore, we know that this is discrete and this is an effect. If I want, I can vanish this. How? This can be vanished. How? We take all the attraction forces. When we take all the attraction forces, what will happen? All the atoms, all the subatomic particles move apart. Then you will see a liquid. What is the difference between a liquid and a solid? Do you really think that they are two different things? No, ladies and gentlemen, they are same. They are the same. They are the same, but one has strong attraction forces. The other one has a little bit weak attraction forces. But if you take all the attraction forces, what will remain? Nothing. If I take all the attraction forces from your body, what will be on the chair? Nothing. But you think that you are unique? Tell me one thing. What do you have? What do you have? Tell me one thing that you can think that you are unique. Tell me one thing you have but I don't have. If you think that you are so special, just tell me that. Apart from the mind, you tell me one thing you have. You have something special that this doesn't have. Apart from the mind, because this doesn't have a mind. But if you compare with me, I have a mind and you have a mind. You have a body, I have a body. We all ate from the same pot today. You got the dani. Huh? Then you ate the same thing that I ate. And I have a mind, you have a mind. But you think that you are so special. Why? You think that you are so unique. Why? What do you have? Actually, you don't have anything, like, ladies and gentlemen, but your mind thinks that it's a being and it is separated from others. That's the problem. Therefore, the mind has to maintain that. That's why you try to maintain yourself all the time. When you go somewhere, you should be special. You feel that you are so special. Therefore, you expect them to respect you, to care for you. If they don't do that, either you'll be angry. You will be angry or you will be so sad. Therefore, you try to do something to come out of that. Sad, anger, everything is vexation, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about vexation. Actually, you have a vexful life. I'm sorry to say this. You have a vexful life because of ignorance. If you can understand ignorance and if we can cure this problem, you will be happy forever. Just think about this. We can do this. With experience, I'm telling you. We can do this. We can change this. If your mind expects entities, it will suffer forever because it can't find an entity. That's why we should understand that nature is not an entity. Nature is an effect. That's why the Lord Buddha taught us about the theory of cause and effect. Perhaps you might think that. Why did the Buddha taught us about the theory of cause and effect? That's the reason. Because the mind is ignorant. Ignorance it has many meanings, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you one. Ignorance means the mind thinks that everything is an entity, but everything is an effect. The mind perceives everything as entity, but the truth is, everything is an effect. If we can understand this, if we can realize it, and finally, if we can reflect this, if we can see the world as it is, then the problem will be sorted. If you have this problem in your mind, this is the only problem, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever think that you have other problems. You don't ever think that you have an ego problem. You don't have an ego problem. Only one problem you have. Your mind thinks that everything is an entity. Therefore, if we can cure this problem with the Dhamma, just very simple. What we need to do is see the truth. Look, you came to me and we discussed the Dhamma. What did I ask? Did I create something and ask you to think about this? I didn't create anything. The Buddha didn't create anything. The Buddha explains the universe. All the characteristics of universe. There are three main characteristics. That's called anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca means that's hetum paticca. Hetum paticca means when causes come together, an effect is created. That effect is called sambhuta. The Buddha said dukkha. I will use some Pali terms. Perhaps you are not familiar with that. But later, you will learn this. You will learn this. That's it. Let's move forward. You will learn this. The Buddha talk about dukkha. When you heard dukkha, you perhaps think that it's suffering. The Buddha didn't say anything about suffering, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing is, if you take direct translation from Pali to English without taking its meaning, then you never see the truth. The Buddha was talking about suffering. That's how people believe. He didn't talk about suffering. What he's talking about is dukkha. Dukkha means sambhuta. Dukkha means an effect. That's dukkha. That's why he said that everything is dukkha. How can you believe that? If the Buddha taught us that everything is dukkha, how can you believe that? Everything is dukkha. Pleasure is a dukkha. Because dukkha is a sambhuta. Sambhuta means the dukkha is an effect. Pleasure is an effect. Happiness is an effect. Jealousy is an effect. Vexation is an effect. Therefore, everything is dukkha. That's why he said, sabbampi dukkham. Just imagine that, sabbampi dukkham. If you can find anything which is not dukkha, just tell me. Just tell me one thing if you can show me. Everything is dukkha. This one is dukkha. This one is dukkha means this one is not crying. This is a sambhuta. That's why this is a dukkha. Your hair is the dukkha. Your body is a dukkha. Your mind is a dukkha. The color which is created in your mind is a dukkha. The notification is a dukkha. Recognition is a dukkha. This formation is a dukkha. And perception is a dukkha. Because it has its own causes. Ignorance is a dukkha. Again, dukkha means sambhuta, which means an effect. That's it. An effect. Just take that. An effect. Dukkha is an effect. Dukkha is effect and dukkha is an effect. What about attachment then? We all talk about attachment. Attachment is the main cause of dukkha. Just tell me that. What about attachment then? Attachment is a sambhuta. Don't you see that? Attachment. Because attachment is created due to ignorance. Ignorance is a sambhuta, which is an effect. Therefore, you can eradicate. That's why when you heard that sabbampi dukkham, which means everything is dukkha, then you should be over the moon. You should dance. Why? Sabbampi dukkha. Everything is a sambhuta. If everything is a sambhuta, you can eradicate it whenever you want, because you know that it's not fixed, it's not unique, it's not an entity, because it's an effect. If it is an effect, they have its own causes. If we can eradicate those causes, then an effect will disappear. But when I say effect will disappear, don't ever think that there is something fixed called an effect. Take the example. 1, 2, 3. 123. 123. This is the effect. Then when I rub this, then it disappears. It disappears. Means actually this was a manifestation. 123 was not there, but it appears when you write 1, 2, 3. Then when I clear this, now here you can see 12. Please don't say that 123 became 12. Is that the case? No. "123 is an effect, 12 is an effect." That's it. There are two separate things. You didn't transform anything. But if you think that 123 is fixed, it's an entity, and 12 is fixed and it's an entity, now you can say that 123 became 12. That's how you think that you were a young lady and now you are getting old. You were a kid, now you are young. That's how you believe. But you are not old. Your body is not old. This is an effect. It has its own causes. If you can change the causes, you can create another effect. If you want to be young, you know what to do. There are some causes. Perhaps you need some vitamins. When you take all the vitamins, then it looks young. That means youth is an effect. The color of your hair is an effect. It has its own mechanism in the cell. Why am I talking about cause and effect? Causes, effects, causes, effect. Because we are going to attack The ignorance. I would say the ignorance because it's specific ignorance. It's not regarding what you haven't learned or the lack of education. This is ignorance regarding the universe. You know F equals ma. You know E equals mc squared. But you don't know the main characteristics of the universe. Therefore, you all suffer around the clock. Around the clock, you suffer. In the morning, what is the very first thing you do? Perhaps you think that I wash my face. No, you suffer. In the night, in your dreams, that's why it says every night in my dreams, I don't think I see you. Every night in my dreams, I suffer. That's what you do. In the night, in the day, in the evening, again, just before breakfast, what do? You suffer. You think that, what should I eat today? Oh, this, I can't eat this. Every day I eat this. I can't eat this. I'll make another. You suffer because you can't be satisfied. Because you feel that you are an entity. You are so special and you are not nature. Therefore, you can't be satisfied. Just see that? Because you are different. But you are not different. That's why I told you, if you are so different, if you are so special or different, just tell me one thing you have but I don't have. I'm full of electrons. What do you think? I inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. What about you? The same. And do you have your own carbon dioxide? Do you have your own carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen? And this is John's carbon and John's oxygen. Do you have all this carbon? And no. Actually, if this is me, I was in your body because I exhaled carbon dioxide and a tree absorbed it and produced oxygen, or let's say food, and you ate it. That's the same carbon. It was in me before, now it's in you. Now just tell me that, is you or is you me? Just think about that. But you think that you're so special. That's why I'm telling you, in your mind, you can be so special. You think that, oh, I'm so special because my parents are scientists, doctors, engineers, or a rich businessman. My father is a rich businessman. Therefore, I'm so special. Oh, I have these abilities. Therefore, I'm so special. That you can think, but you are nature. You are nothing. Is that okay to say this? You are nothing but this. But apart from your mind, because this doesn't have a mind. If this has a mind, you are exactly this. In a different structure. You are different to me because I have a structure and you have a different structure. It's only a structure, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, this body and your body, everything is the same. But I know that when I say that, you can't imagine this because your mind doesn't want to agree. Maybe it will be angry. How dare you say this? How can I'm not a special person? I'm a special person. That's how your mind wants to believe. That's why you can see ego in your mind. You want to be special. You want to be separated. You want everyone around you. This is me, or this is I. This is, and I want others. Therefore, you think that I live among others. That means in your mind you have created yourself. After that, you have created others, and you live among others. Don't you see a human being in this? Just tell me that. Don't you see a fixed human being here? But the problem is, you can perceive a human being here, but this doesn't have a human being. This has a body and this has a mind. Mind means a process of a mind. Each time it occurs. Each time it happens. But you perceive a human being. Oh, this is our Guru Hamduru. Then when I say, if you perceive a Guru Hamduru, or if you perceive a human being, okay, just tell me this. What is his appearance? Then you try to find. When you find that, then you will see this. Because this is different to your one. But if you show this bit, perhaps this one and your one is both of them are same. Therefore, you don't take this one as the component for identification. You use something unique. Therefore, you use this. But for machines, it's not enough. Therefore, machines use this. Because this is different. That means everybody believes that everything and everybody is unique and separated. But that's not the truth. If it is the truth, prove me, please. If you are suffering because of that, don't you feel that you are suffering unnecessarily? Because you try to prove that nature is an entity, but nature is not. Nature is an effect, but you try to prove that nature is an entity. You can't win. You have been doing this. When did you win? Tell me one moment in your life you have won. Tell me one thing you were satisfied with. Just one thing. A food? Whatever it is, just tell me one thing. A smell? No, you want to use it over and over again because you can't be satisfied. Because you can't be satisfied because actually you didn't want to smell something, ladies and gentlemen. So actually you wanted to perceive. Again, you means your mind. Actually, your mind wanted to perceive an entity. That's its job. Because it's so obsessed with its own view. That view is the ignorance, which is it believes that everything is an entity. Therefore, it wants to experience. That's why you want to hear. That's why you want to see. That's why I told you before, you haven't done anything other than experiencing the world. Actually, why do you want to see? Just tell me one thing. Now you are sitting on a chair and you are safe. But still, why do you want to see? You can use your eyes to see the road, to see the path. Otherwise, you will fall into something or something like that. But now you are on the chair. Now that's okay. You are safe. But still you want to see. Why? Tell me one thing. What is the purpose of seeing? What have you achieved by seeing? Tell me one thing. I'll show you something, huh? Okay? Okay, right. What have you achieved? If it's not enough, let's take 10 seconds, okay? Okay? Tell me. You have spent 10 seconds in your life, which means you have spent your life. What have you achieved? You haven't achieved anything. Then why do you want to see? I'm not asking why do you want to see. Okay, this is how I talk. This is how I show my compassion. That compassion, loving kindness. I love you all. I want you to be happy. That's my love. That's my compassion. I want you to be happy. But I can't become a stand-up comedian here because you can't be happy with that. You can laugh, but you can't be happy. Laughter is not happiness. I'm not insulting them by saying this, but laughter is not happiness. You can laugh if you want, but you can't be happy. Happiness is within you. You need to achieve that. You need to eradicate all the defilements in your mind and experience the pure mind. Then you will be happy. That's called happiness. And a stand-up comedian can't do that. Therefore, I don't want to become a stand-up comedian. I want to be a noble teacher to you. And I want you to understand, I want you to realize the truth. Then you will be happy forever. Then just tell me that. Why do you want to see? What are you going to achieve by seeing something? You don't have an answer, do you? You don't have an answer, but you do this. Not only this, if someone move their hand, you want to see that either, because this beautiful face is not enough. This is not enough for you. And you want to see that thing. That's an ugly hand, but you want to see that. Whether it's ugly or beautiful, before that, you will decide that whether it's ugly or beautiful just after you see, but you want to see. Why? Let's get the answers for this, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, you will waste your time. You will waste your life. You have wasted maybe 40 years, 50 years, 70 years. That's what I told you, apart from a piece of land you have written into your name, apart from that, you don't have anything. Still you want to see, still you want to hear, still you want to listen, still you want to smell. That's it. Even something, when someone says, oh, what is that bad smell? What did you say? What did you do at that time? What did you do? Right? Did you close your nose quickly? You should do that because it's a bad smell. But you wanted to decide whether it's bad or not. That means actually you wanted to know. You wanted to experience the smell. That's why I told you, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. You want to experience. That means your mind wants to experience, not a smell, not a sound. It wants to experience an entity. That is the problem, ladies and gentlemen, because it strongly believes that everything is an entity. If we can break that, the mind will be healed. That's why the Buddha's Dhamma heals your mind. This is the greatest Dhamma. I'm telling you. The Buddha graced this universe with his presence. I'm telling you. I'm so pleased. I don't have words. Words fail me. I can't explain the happiness I experience because of the Dhamma, because of the Buddha, because of the great lineage of Mahasangha. I want you to take refuge of the Dhamma first. That means take refuge. Means first of all, you listen. You listen and you will realize the problem with the Dhamma. That's why when you understand the Lord Buddha's Dhamma, Dhamma means Lord Buddha's doctrine. When you understand the Lord Buddha's doctrine, you will see the problem. When you see the problem, you will see the solution. At that time, you will say that I take the refuge of the Dhamma, the Buddha, and the Sangha. The Dhamma is the knowledge, wisdom you should achieve. Then the Buddha is your salvation, and Sangha is the path. You will take the refuge of the Noble Triple Gem. This is how you take the refuge of the Noble Triple Gem. Otherwise, you can't just say that Buddham Sarnam Gacchami, oh, I took the refuge of the Noble Triple Gem. You can't do that. Let's understand the Dhamma. Let's see the problem. You have seen many problems, don't you? You have seen many problems. You have seen many problems that you think that anger is the problem. You thought that lustful feeling are the problem. You have seen many problems. And perhaps I want to see something, that's the problem. No, that's not the problem. You have only one problem because your mind thinks that everything is an entity, which is not. That's the problem. If everything is an entity and your mind thinks that everything is an entity, that's the perfect view. But nature is not an entity, but your mind strongly believes. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, this is the mind strongly believes, even though I have been talking to you, I think nearly 1.5 hours. When I finish this sermon, again you will start to believe that everything is an entity. Otherwise, if you have, by listening to this, if you have understood something, you should stay with us. Why do you go home? Why do you want him to live? Why do you want your wife to live? Why do you want your husband to live? Because you think that you are a human being and you think that you are an entity and your husband is another entity, then this entity must associate this entity. And this is the society. We should associate each. We have created the society. Ladies and gentlemen. You have created yourself. You have created your father. You have created your mother. You have created your family. You have created the entire society. Because when you see someone, you see an entity. When you see me, you see an entity. I'm not an entity. Don't say that I'm an entity. Why do you say that I'm an entity? I'm not an entity. But you perceive it. I think there are some doctors in this audience. You have cut bodies. Have you seen someone? Have you seen John in the heart or in the brain or somewhere? No. You can't find anyone. But if you watch some scary movies, then you think that, ghost, or some kind of soul, it comes out of the body. It's a story. It's a story, ladies and gentlemen. It's not true. Nothing comes out of this mind. Nothing comes out of this body. This body, with the help of this body, the process of the mind happens all the time. That's it. Then how can we define death? The process stops. That's it. In this instant, it can happen. The process of the mind stops. Then the body falls. Don't ever think that something comes out of this body and it moves somewhere and enters a womb again. Then it's moving here and there. From time to time, it comes to your house, your home, and if you believe that, actually, I think you watch too many scary movies, horror movies. Stop watching them. That's not the truth. The truth is this. This is a process. That's why, how many times you can die within a second? 1,000,000 times. 1,000,000,000 times. 1,000,000,000 times you can die within a second, ladies and gentlemen, because death is just ceasing or stopping the process of the mind. That's it. But when you see or when you perceive a person or when you perceive an entity, then you take this body as its figure or as its shape, as its face. That's why when you see this face, oh, this is Guru Handra, you say that. This is Guru Handra. Then if we create a robot like this, then you will say that, oh, this is Guru Handra. Then you will worship. You will respect. You will offer something. Oh, this is our Guru Handra. That's how it is. Otherwise, how can you differentiate a real person and a robot if it doesn't talk and if it doesn't move? You can't. When you see that, you perceive an entity. When you see this, you perceive an entity. That's what I told you. When you feel yourself, you perceive an entity. Therefore, that's why I told you, you have created yourself and you have created your family and you live among your family. But that's how you think. But actually, you live among your mental images or mental perceptions. Don't you want to come out of this? That's my problem, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you want to come out of this? If you don't come out of this, then you have to do this over and over again. And if you believe in reincarnation, or if you will be born again, when I say that, right, it doesn't depend on your beliefs. It doesn't depend on your beliefs. You know that. If it is true, it will happen. Whether you believe it or not, if it is true, it will happen. Then you have to come back. That's it. You have to come back. But now you are a human being. A human being means you have a human mind. That means you can think, you can perceive. You can think. That's the most important part. You can think. But if you take an animal, it can't think. Therefore, it can't understand what I say. Therefore, an animal can't be noble. But you can. Don't you want to do something different, essentially? Apart from eating, drinking, sleeping, and other things. You do. Animals also do the same. But you do better than them because you can think. And you can get a good education and you can earn some money and you can do more. That's it. You can eat more. That's it. Just think about that. How many types of food you have? You know and you have. Many. Why? Because you are educated. You know buffaloes and cows? They can only eat grass. Because they are not educated. But at the end of the day, you both, is that okay? I'm not insulting. Please, don't be offended. But you both do the same. They eat grass, you eat many things. Then what's the difference between being a human being and being a cow or buffalo? You can have many food. Therefore, I want you to respect you. I want you to respect yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You can say that you are a human being. I don't know whether this is too much or not. I'm sorry if you feel that like this is an insult, but this is not. This is compassion. I don't have any intention. But you can just try to understand this. You can say that you are a human being. But saying means nothing if your actions betray you. Show me one thing you can do that animal can't do. You can say that we can get a good education and we can earn money. Animals can't do that. Yes, animals do it for free. They will do it for free. Huh? You have a dog in your house, huh? Right? You feed it. You feed it. You look after it. You do everything for it. Huh? And you go to work. You earn money. And he get his free food. Actually, it eats. Whenever you feed it, it eats. It drinks, it sleeps. Whenever it needs, you find a partner for it. When it is spending a fantastic life, I think he's in heaven. But what about you? You have to wake up early in the morning. You have to get ready for your job. You have to leave your house at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Then you will go to work, and you work from morning to evening. Then you get blamed. You fight with people. And you come back. And you feed again. When it says, I want a partner, then you said, okay, wait, my puppy, I will find. You do everything, ladies and gentlemen, but I want you to do one thing that they can't do. Dharmo hitesha madiko vishesho, dharmena hina pasubis samana. Great sages said this. The difference between human beings and animals is animals can't understand the Dhamma. Animals can't understand the universe, but human being can. If you don't understand the universe, I don't want to say the other part. But great sages said, Dharmena hina pasubis samana. If someone can't understand, or if someone doesn't understand the universe, the Dhamma, it's only he's only an animal. Therefore, I want you to be respected. I want you to respect your life. I want you to respect your mind, because you can think. You can think and you can understand the universe. Let's understand this. Let's find out the problem. If you have seen the problem, let's practice the path. Practicing the path means actually you need to see this one as it is. Tell me, what is this? Is this an entity or an effect? Effect. Then please see. What about the mind? If you have learned this, if you have learned about this only, not the entire mind, entire process. If you have learned about this rupa, which means the form, you know that it's an effect. That's why until I show you this, you can't see it. When I show this, now you can see it. That means when causes come together, an effect appears. When I take this away, then you can't see this because causes are not there. Where's the blue color you have seen? Check your pockets, please. Where's the blue color you can hear? Where's the sound you have been listening? Where's the sound? The sound has been created all the time. You can remember. Now sound is created. Now sound is created. That means it has been created for a long time. Where's the sound? The sound exists because of the causes. When causes are there, the sound exists. Otherwise, it doesn't. That's the reality. That's why you can't find a past world. Where's the past world? Finally, I'll show you this. Now, the time is 4:30. Don't look at the clocks, please. Okay? The time is 4:30. Oh, you wanted to see the clock. Why? Why? Because you want to live. That's the purpose of your life. To see, to hear, to smell. That means to identify entities. What a fantastic lifestyle or life you have. You don't have to consider whether it's good or bad or whether it's useful or not. You don't have to. You just need to look. Let's come to this. Now the time is 4:30. Now the time is 4:31. When it was 4:30, there was a world. Can you remember the world? The world? Where is it now? Because now the time is 4:31. Now you have a new world. What happened to the past world? If this world is real, just tell me what happened to the past world. If this world is an effect, if this world was created in your mind, it was an effect, and when causes were there, therefore it appeared, but now causes are not there, therefore it disappears. It explains. But if this is an entity, if this time what you see, what you experience is an entity, just tell me when it comes to 4:32, what happened to this world? What happened to this world? What happened to things that you have experienced? You have experienced perhaps a sound, perhaps a sight. What happened to it? What happened to Vedana? What happened to Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana? What happened to these things? Can you find out about these things? Where did you put? Where did you keep it? No, you can't, because this is an effect. When causes are there, this appears. That's it. That's it. It's like that sound. What happened to that sound? And don't be deceived that sound came from the buffer. It doesn't. It was created in your mind. It was created in your mind. And what happened to that sound? Do you have it now? Please give me. Just give me, please. Throw it to me. Do you have it? Then what about this time you are talking about? Is it true then? Do you have a past then? Do you have a future then? But I will teach you these things in the future. The time is an illusion. When I say that, don't think that, he's insane. No, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen the truth. That's why when you want to see, we don't want to. You try to see things, we try to avoid the process. That's the lifestyle we have. There are the two lifestyles in this world. One is Miccha Ajiva, the other one is Samma Ajiva. Samma Ajiva means simply, if I say Samma Ajiva means when vexation is created, you try to find the causes and you try to cease the process. That's called sammajiva. You spend your life to eradicate the causes of your problem. Miccajiva means you try to achieve your all desires. You try to achieve all of your desires. All your desires. You do that. That's called Miccajiva. You have been doing that. You have experienced it. You are the king of it. You know how to do this. But the only one thing you can't do is how to eradicate your problem. Therefore, we will do that. When you realize the Dhamma, you will see that this time is an illusion. You don't have a past. You don't have a future. You don't have a present. When I say that you don't have a future and you don't have a past, don't ever think that you have a present. Because some people believe that if you can stay in the present, you can be happy. According to the Buddha's teaching, no. There is no such thing called the present. If you believe in the present, just tell me how many seconds are there in the present? How many seconds? If the present exists, how many seconds? If seconds are too big, let's go for milliseconds then. How many? Then nanoseconds? Micro, nano, pico, whatever. Which second? No. We only talk about these things because we can experience this due to ignorant mind. Therefore, if you can free yourself from this ignorance, you won't experience these things, essentially. Therefore, we will help you to do this. This is the greatest philosophy I ever come across in my life. I ever have come across in my life. Therefore, when I have understood this, I can see the truth in the Bible. Therefore, if you are a Christian, come to me. All you who are weary and burdened, I'll give you rest. If you are burdened, come to me. Me means come to us. I'm speaking to you on behalf of noble society. Come to us. All you who are weary and burdened. If you are weary, if you are burdened, come to us. We will give you rest. If you go to ignoble people, they will give you the rest. We will give you rest. They will give you the rest. Whatever you have, the other part, they will give you that. But if you come to noble society, they will give you rest. I know that you are weary. I know that you are burdened because of vexation, because of your wantings, desires. I know you are suffering. Perhaps you don't say this. I know you want to see things. I know you want to identify things. Let us heal you. This is a kind request. Let us heal you. We can. And we will do it for free. We don't need money. Perhaps you think that why don't you charge money? That's how some people think. Why don't we charge money for this sermon? Do I ask you to bring some gifts at least for this sermon? Do I charge you? Did I charge you? Have I ever charged? I means again noble society. Ever charged? Have we ever charged? No, we don't. Because this is priceless. How can I put a price on the table? I'm talking about your salvation, ladies and gentlemen. How much can you pay? How much do you pay for your salvation? I'm ready to give you a salvation. I have this in my pocket. Okay. I'm going to give it. How much do you ready to pay? Do you pay? Just tell me. Can you put a price? No. Then I can't charge. We never. This is free. This is Lord Buddha's ministry. This is Lord Buddha's sasana. Everything belongs to him. The Buddha belongs to everyone. Therefore, listen to the Dhamma, understand the Dhamma, and take the refuge of the Dhamma. Take the refuge of the Buddha, which means your salvation, your true salvation, and take the path. Then path appears in front of you. Then you will start walking. And we will come with you. We will guide you. And we will meet next week. And until that, I want you to start thinking about what I said. Just don't take the knowledge. I want you to convert this to your wisdom. You have your experiences. Just think that, why should I, or why do I see? Why do I listen? What did I get from those things? Nothing. Then let's do something useful. Let's eradicate ignorance and achieve happiness. May the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem be with you all. Thank you.